Let's make sure we are live. Let's see. I believe we are live. Let's see. Yes, we are. All right. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. This is B. Wright Jones coming to you for our live at 5 today. Again, this is B. Wright Jones. For those of you who may not know me, I am the I am a published author, inspirational speaker, blogger, online life coach, and publisher dedicated to serving women 35 and older who are stuck and desire to get unstuck and sexy. Sexy is the acronym for self confidence, excitement, extra, and yes, I can. My company is Keep Looking Up with B. Wright Jones, LLC, and you can visit my website for upcoming workshops, and also my books are listed there as well. So, again, good afternoon, everyone. So, I'm coming to you today on the subject of dealing with disappointment. I shared a number of ideas and different things that I shared throughout the week on how I view disappointment, um, knowing that we all are different. All of us deal with disappointment differently. And my final thoughts on today that I wanted to share with you, because I know in the past I didn't take disappointments very well. I would get into depression. It caused me to sometimes think thoughts about myself that may have not been very healthy, doubting myself. Um, it was just a number of different things that actually went through my head with regards to disappointments. But throughout the years and learning how it wasn't helping me, how I was dealing with it, and how I was handling the disappointments, I've realized that I needed to make some changes in how I dealt with it because it really wasn't healthy. I was beating myself up. I was just thinking negative thoughts about myself, and it really was just a toxic cycle. It just wasn't healthy at all. But I've come to realize through my growth and how I handle things now, I now acknowledge God in everything, everything. There was a time in my life where I didn't acknowledge God in everything, and I would cause myself to be set up, for disappointments. I was putting my expectations in other people instead of going to God first, praying about it, and then saying, Lord, this is what I would like to happen. This is what I would like in my life, but not my will. Your will be done. This has saved me from so much disappointment in my life because I'm always praying that prayer. And because I honestly believe that God has my best interest, because I honestly believe without a shadow of a doubt that God orchestrates my life, that He orders my steps, that He's for me, I'm able to pray that prayer in faith and believe if something doesn't work out, that it wasn't God's best for me and I'm okay with it and I move on. Now, mind you, I know everyone is not where I'm at and that's okay. But it has helped me tremendously. So I wanted to share with you today. I think it's so important though that you acknowledge your disappointment, not try to cover it up, not try to act like you weren't disappointed. Be honest with your feelings. I think that is so important. Be honest about how you feel. Also, evaluate the situation. Look at it closely to see, did you put your expectations in someone or in people without clearly communicating? Hi, Erica. Hi, Paige. Thank you for joining. And, be very clear on your expectations. Sometimes we put our expectations in people and they're clueless. They don't even know that we're expecting certain things. We set ourselves up for a major disappointment because we were not clear in what we were expecting. So it's so important to be communicate what we're expecting from others so that they're not left out in the dark and then you're upset with them. Be Communicate clearly so that people will know. Then also, I think it's just so important to always, like I said earlier, be honest with your feelings. Pray about your feelings. Don't try to cover them up. Be honest with God about it and ask Him to help you through it. Because I know years ago I was just a mess. I would get disappointed. Just to share a little story with you. And I had a job I was working on. This was a number of years ago. And I was treated unfairly on this job. Um, it was just some underhanded things that were going on. And I really believe that a few of the people were intimidated. And it was also some issues. I think it was a little prejudice there. Um, and I was so disappointed to the point where I was like, I can't handle this. I just can't deal with it. And I quit the job. And I was so disappointed with myself afterwards because, I felt like I could have handled it better by at least trying to talk with the individuals. If that didn't work, then I should have maybe went to management to work the things out. But because I guess I doubted myself, I allowed myself to leave a job that I really loved because of conflict. And I guess because my expectations were, I'm not going to have these type of issues. I'm not going to have this type of issue um, here, and I just set myself up for basically a failure. And I believe we have to, before I go on to the next thing, I'm going to say this. That situation followed me. And I want to make sure I don't forget that. Because I did that, I quit. I didn't handle the situation in the right way. When I went to another job, that situation came up again. This is so true. And I've heard this before. If you don't deal with situations, those things will follow you. So I did learn that it followed me somewhere else. So, we have to be honest with ourselves. Hi, Cynthia. We have to be honest with ourselves about ourselves and how we deal with disappointment, and just always be honest with God, open with Him about your feelings. Don't try to cover it up. But it's just amazing how that situation followed me somewhere else with totally different people. So, be honest with yourself about your feelings. And it's okay, but I just think it's healthy to just take a pause and think about the situation. Think about, did I communicate well what I was expecting? It helps. It really helps. And to always pray about what you're believing for. It's nothing wrong with having those great big expectations because I have them. There's some things, that I have on my list that I've been waiting on for years. Some of those things that I have on my list are just now coming to fruition. So things take time. We have to be patient. We have to enjoy life where we are. Make the best of life. Don't allow those things that didn't work out to steal your joy. And just continue, to keep looking up, to keep believing and knowing that if something didn't work out, that God has something better. Okay? So, guys, be blessed. Thank you for joining me on today. And remember always to keep looking up. Be blessed. Take care. And thanks again for joining me.